Hey guys, Sean Mory here with another session of LenCred Credit Geeks Q&A, joined once again by our founder and CEO, Tom Gazaway, as well as Dustin Weitzell, one of our advisors. Today we've got a great question that comes from Gregory out of New Hampshire. Tom, Greg asks, I've been reading a lot of online information and it seems that credit card financing is a good startup option when I don't want to pledge collateral for my business. He asks, can I do this myself, or should I hire an expert to assist me?
First time I've ever heard that, right?
Not exactly. No, that's a great question Greg asks. I mean, you know, nobody needs to hire anybody to get a credit card. We can all go online, and we can all do a Google search, and we can all find plenty of credit cards.
Yeah.
So the short answer is no, you don't have to, work with any kind of an expert to do something you could do yourself. However, there's some things you're going to miss. And, it's kind of, we always joke about this, right, Dustin, where, over here at LenCred, we've spent the last 8 years kind of focused on this startup financing space and help a lot of our clients with credit card financing. So all day, every day for 8 years, we picked up a few things along the way. And so a couple of those things that they might miss, for example, would be, are they going to find business credit cards or personal credit cards? Because, of course, if they use personal credit cards, then they're probably going to do some damage and
Right.
probably for an extended period of time to their personal credit.
Right.
So therefore, you'd say, hey, well then let's do some business credit. Well, how do you get the right business credit cards, and how do you know which ones are going to report to business only and not to your personal credit?
Absolutely.
Don't you think that's a little bit of a challenging task if you haven't been doing it, right?
Well, in 8 years, I feel like we learn stuff every week and we're always getting better. So to think that you can go in on day one when you're starting a business and you have all these other things going on, that's one less thing if you get in the right place, people that care and understand what they're doing, that can really help you get to the next level and take that burden off of you.
And there's a few different, kind of answers to that question. So even though nobody has to or can't do this on their own, there's a lot of credit cards that you're not going to find through a Google search, for
Right.
example.
Yeah.
So where are you going to find them at,
Yeah.
And so, we have them in our network and our database, and most, people that can, have experience, they're going to help you to access additional, credit lines, that you might not find through a traditional Google search.
And my number one issue with a lot of our clients is really not an issue. They get Capital One Sparks, which is a great business card. But a lot of them don't know that that's sitting on their personal as well. So they're building business credit, but it's also going to their personal.
Right.
What happens is that utilization then brings down their score, which could potentially keep them from being able to borrow more money in the future. And
Yeah.
it's just, again, like we say a lot in this business, you just don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And great credit card with a huge advertising budget, #1 business credit card in America today, but again, it doesn't report only to your business credit, it does report, so you
Which
don't
is
have
fine,
that
as long as you
separation.
know that.
Correct.
Use it for the things you're going to pay off, gas, hotels, things every
Absolutely.
month. Building business, it's great for your personal as well, so it could be a win-win as long as you understand that.
It's not,
and
you don't
use it
want
the right
it,
way.
you don't want it to be your standalone business
Absolutely.
credit card normally,
Correct.
Absolutely.
And most people don't know when you say you got to, oh, so that card that you have for your business is your Capital One Sparks, and they're like, how'd you know that? Well, it's on your personal credit report.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, okay.
There used to be, it used to be a little more popular than it has been the last couple of years, but, there was a popular online strategy called Apparama,
Oh, yeah.
where people just apply for as many credit cards as they could with no order or no strategic thinking behind it, and then they just kind of throw it against the wall and see what sticks, and then they land somewhere. And again, is that, the worst thing in the world? Well, it might be better than nothing,
Yeah.
but, when there's no strategy involved, where do you think your business would be in 5 years if you had no strategy? Where would, if you piled the family in a car and said, let's figure out how to get to California, if you didn't have a roadmap and you didn't have a plan, maybe you'd get there, but it'd be an interesting adventure.
Absolutely.
Might be a bit more challenging than it needed to be, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Wonderful.
So I think there's a lot of great, ways to, go about getting financing on your own. I just think that if you're looking for larger amounts of financing, then you might have a challenge doing that. Like we know a lot of lenders who give much lower credit approvals when you apply online versus through a business banker or through one of their kind of internal channels, right?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
A lot of those are going for the instant approval. So if they would approve you online instantly for $5 grand, they're probably saying, okay, as safe as 10, we're going to go to 5
Right.
for an instant.
Right.
When you get to the right place that has the right connections or relationships, they may try to maximize that money and give you the full 10.
Sure.
So, that's what we try to do as much as possible,
And whoever the expert is, or whoever the company is, I think our message, Sean, has kind of always been, hey, whatever you decide is best. We're not, what we do or credit card financing may not be right, or it may not be best for everyone, but hopefully we can at least bring some level of education that helps people kind of go in eyes wide open.
Yeah.
So we encourage people, man, build those businesses,
Yeah.
do what you got to do. We just caution that says, hey, in these last 8 years of kind of being in the trenches all day, every day, we've seen some of the kind of pitfalls that can be created. So just, if you do it on your own, just try to be as cautious as you can, that you wouldn't be kind of cavalier or haphazard,
Right.
and try not to make some of the common mistakes that are normally made by business owners when they go get their own financing. It's not rocket science, right, guys?
Sure.
But it is a kind of ever-changing landscape that is different today than it was 5 years ago, and is even different today than it was a couple months ago, and is probably going to continue to change.
Well, Ed, the smile came on my face because I had a husband and wife, and we ran the wife through a business plan, and we got her almost $80,000, and they were so super excited. And so then they got wise and opened another business, and he went after the same types of clients that we went after for the first business, and he got $15,000, and they have similar credit.
Wow.
And they don't realize, because we do it quick and we work pretty well and we know what we're doing, that if you don't go in the right order in certain inquiries and things, that matters.
I can see.
And that's,
so easy
like I
and
was saying earlier, we learn stuff every day, and we've been doing it for 8 years. So,
Sure.
those are the things that people take for granted when we work quickly and get them the larger dollar amounts. And most of the time, they've already tried SBA, or they've been to their local bank and they're not getting that money. So if I say I can get you that money, but it's going to be on a few different credit cards, we probably can do that.
Sure.
And the last thing, Sean, you know this, is, if someone is thinking about hiring somebody or working with an expert, whoever that is, just make sure that you don't allow them to misrepresent you to a lender. So in the name of trying to get you a larger credit limit, you don't want to in any way allow someone to inflate your income levels or things like that. That would be misrepresentation. Even though it wasn't you doing the submission, it is, your name and your business that ultimately is going to be, on the hook in the event that, that ever was found out.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I think that more than answers that question, guys. Thank you for your feedback. That was solid. So guys, I hope that answers your question out there, Greg. If you guys have more, please send them to us. We'd love to answer everything we can. As always, go visit us at LenCred.com. We'll be happy to help however we can. Thanks.